Hey, welcome, my friends, to another edition of Clobby'S Comics Corner Spin the Rack Time Machine. This is, of course, Clobby'S Quick Bits, October, week 4, 1971, which I'm doing a bit of a recap of yesterday's video that you all, hopefully, that you all enjoyed. Well, if you didn't, that's okay. You can tell me. I can take it. Yeah, we're going to be just a little bit of recap of the comics that got away from my list. It just didn't make the cut, but still, because it was such a fun comic industry at the time, they all deserve a little bit of something, don't they? So, firstly, of course, the ones that did make the cut, just a bit of a recap. That was Fantastic Four 118, Marvel's Greatest Comics, number 34. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, number 94. Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, 117. Two Gun Kid, 101. Action Comics, 407. 407. Adventure Comics, 413. Detective Comics, 418. And Superboy, 180. So those are the ones that did make the cut. Now let's take a little bit of a look at the ones that did not, because they deserve a little love too, don't they? And speaking of that, they're probably love titles in here. So, as I said, started out with picked up. Let me go back to where it was. All right, yeah, there we go. Speaking of that, yeah, there's Love. Actually, My Love. From DC. How about that? How do you like them apples? They had obviously reprints from the old DC Love comics of the 50s, and I guess maybe even some of the 60s. And how about Pebbles and Bam Bam? Another one of those Charlton TV tie-in cartoon comics. How about that? Isn't that? It's just cool though that there was so much love of comics, and comics was such a beloved art form that it was getting some attention back then. You have Archie comics line with Pep. See that? There you go. How about that? Yeah. Then you had whoa, jumped on me. Oh my God. Oh dear. And of course, just picked up a bunch of those. Then we have another TV tie-in, Gold Key, Beep Beep, the Roadrunner. The title was not just the Roadrunner, number 27, of course. It was Beep Beep, the Roadrunner. So, again, comics were something back then when, you're tied into these big, movie and TV properties like that. And then there's this Gold Key, Sid and Marty Krofft, HR Puffin Stuff, number 6. Remember that show? Anyone? Bueller? Oh, I'm sure you do. I'm sure enough of you are old enough to remember on that one. Then I almost picked this one up, but I didn't. But still, it should get some love anyway, just because it's kind of cool. So Gold Key, all these great old, probably George Wilson covers. Ripley's Believe It or Not, number 30. Yes. Man, ghost stories. Yeah, you got to love old just the fact that there would be comics about all these varied interests back then. It's just amazing. And then finally, of course, Gold Key's Walt Disney Comics and Stories, number 375. So they've been doing it a long time. And you really got to respect that. Again, you have to respect what a big industry it was. See, look how many comics came out that month. And as previously mentioned, in my last video yesterday, my week 4 video, there's a week 5. October, it figures it would go all Halloween and spooky on me and make a week 5. But there is one. Well, I've covered all the comics, either by the ones I've selected from my folder or just showing you a little bit right there with the recap. So I think of what I'm going to do next week before we get, obviously before we move into this November and I start those by the month, is I'll do 2 videos. I don't know. Well, it's Halloween, and I've been often accused of being a party pooper when it comes to Halloween. It's not. I mean, but a lot of people really love it, and many people that I dearly love it. So, what I think I will do is next week I may just make one video instead of 2 because I won't need the quick bits. We might take the time machine spinner rack time machine TARDIS on a little trip and talk about some of the spooky comics. It'll be Halloween. Maybe I'm going to be doing a stream about that as well, like some of the. But we'll just take a look at some of the Marvel and DC monsters, since I mostly get the Marvel and DC books. It seems. Perhaps I will do that. I'll have to set that up and get it ready and have that next week. But until then, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me on Clobby'S Quick Bits. It's always been so much fun. I'm really enjoying doing these videos. It's a niche thing. Not a lot of people are really interested in it. But I don't care about the views. I just care about doing it, and not doing deep dives on each issue or anything like that, because that would be very difficult. But just kind of, as I said, just paying a little respect to a once great industry and art form first. But the industry, the fact that it was an industry, just showed how much love there was for the art form. In spite of some of the jerks running the industry, we won't even go into them. So. I do this for a lot of fun. You guys are just amazing. Those who have been watching, and I appreciate you so much. And that'll do it for Clobby'S Quick Bits, Spinner Rack Time Machine, October 1971, Week 4. Week 5 we'll have a Halloween special, a Clobby'S Comics Corner Hollywood special of some sort. As you can see here, I used Marvel monsters, so maybe we'll do something like that. I don't know. But thank you all for being here today. And as always, clobber on, my friends, and a big shout out to my wonderful friend and first officer, the amazing Raquel Briggs, for making the spiffy intro outro for me. See you next time, folks. And of course, see you on the streams as well as the vids.